Likelihood is it's only one person you know that lurk in the dark like me. Headshots only. The sniper, Simo. Sniper season Simo, lead photographer for I Capture Souls. You can follow me on Instagram at I Capture Souls Photography. Picking up a camera. First, I always was the one when we went out to the clubs and events. I would take pictures with the phone. This was like, between 2009, 2013. But then my fiance one day, she just said, why don't you take it serious? You got an eye. And everybody just kept saying, you have an eye, you have an eye. So, she took me to Best Buy, bought my first camera, which was a Nikon D5300. Had the kit lenses, and then we just got right to it from there. And just never looked back. Never looked back. And since we picked up the camera, in terms of understanding how much money could be made, we didn't think that, we could make a decent amount of money or even really live off of it. Or when we first picked it up, it wasn't content creators and stuff like that. It just was photography. So the progression of social media and when I got into photography, the timing just was perfect. And it was just like me and my accelerated thinking, I'm able to just get ideas out, very fast with how things have progressed. It's a long story, but I'm not gonna make it that long. Basically, 2020 comes, we have the pandemic. We all know how that was. We in the house. Me, I like to experiment. So I end up experimenting with shrooms, had my shroom awakening. It was one of the dopest experiences ever, but it made me look inside myself a lot and dig into, different traumatic events. And I had a lot of childhood trauma associated with my birth name. And one thing that I felt like I wanted to take control of was that. And while I was doing that, in terms of my photography also, I just tied it all in together. And I started looking and researching, and I'm just like, what's me? What am I? And I'm precise. I'm very precise and very detail-oriented. And I always compared myself to a sniper. And, I'm just Googling and looking, and I run across a sniper from Phoenice, whose full name is Simo Heya, and he's like the most decorated sniper in military history, with like 536 or 550 something confirmed kills, the most out of any sniper. And so I just took to that, and then I read up on the story of that person and the struggle. He was shot in the face during battle, and I go through those same different trials and tribulations, so the name just fit better. It was shorter. And it also is a very clear indicator of how somebody knows me. When somebody addresses me by my birth name that I don't go by, then I clearly know how, I can deal with that person in terms of business or personal. So the name Simo, and then it also adds the dopeness to it. People hit me up. It's never just Simo with the O. Simo, or yo, Simo. So it just adds to it. And I just love when people call my name, man. I know the respect behind it because that name is associated with a lot more positive vibes and a way more harder worker and somebody that, the difference is in the name Simo, they used to say in school, when you apply yourself, Simo applies itself. It would 100% be 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson. 50, he just like, everything that he went through, you just look at his career, the shot 9 times thing, which was the highlight so long ago in his career, but to overcome that, to get into the industry, and to pick a goal as an adversary, to pick an adversary and totally dominate that adversary and totally eliminate them while changing the game, then also taking Ja Rule's style back then and doing what he wanted to it. It just was, a lot of people just look at him on the surface, but it's so much more knowledge and the military movement and how he is and G-Unit and what they did. And him, and then now look at him. Mogul, you know what I'm saying? So far removed from the streets, but still is himself. And is a production genius, comes from music to putting actors on. He's still rolling with some of his core day ones like Yayo. Every interview that I ever look at, I save interviews of 50. You got the Laws of Power, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. I would say my shooting style would be like 50. I'm aggressive. Um, I like high contrast. I like a lot of contrast in my photos. And then in terms of shooting style, a lot of people, I listen to very aggressive music too. So when I listen to a song and they say shooter and they're talking about it in a negative context, in my head, I'm thinking of it creatively as me being the shooter. So if I'm spinning a block, I might be spinning a block on a job, on a photo shoot or a model or something like that. Just the way that I could flip that. So then that's how I would correlate the two. Because I mean, when I hear back down, I wake up in the morning and play back down. I might play that before a photo shoot, and it's up from there. I'm going crazy. I'm going fucking crazy. So yeah, 50. And the G unit. So when I do get a little squad, the inside joke would be G unit, but I wouldn't be public with that though. But yeah. What I want people to think when they hear Simo or I Capture Souls, I want them to think of a brand that stays true to the core values of what the individual is. And saying that to say, we're just us. I'm just me. When I say us, I'm talking about myself and my fiance who co-owns the company, but we're just who we are. We don't try to go with the trends. We go have fun. If it's some fun shit on social, but for the most part, we try to empower. 90% of our business revenue is black women, and just about 98.9% is just all black, period. So we just try to empower, the people that we know. We build relationships with clients. So, when you come to us, the experience is more like, we like your cousins after you finish shooting with us. You're so comfortable. You know what I mean? It's not like you came and paid for a service and then you dip from it. It's like, yo, they just got my money and bounce. They don't even vibe like that. We really communicate with people. We also do things within the community. We try to help, teach and give knowledge of the media and the ability and the amount of money that can be made to kids that are so younger now that picking up phones at 3, 4, 5 years old. When they get to a certain age, there's ways that you can start putting them onto things, and it's a lot of things that I was told not to do. Don't play a video game. But then years later, I end up being so nice as a drone operator because I would always had a controller in my hand. So just embracing who we are, wherever we come from, and just to know that I'm always trying to get better every day, every single day. Always trying to get better and always going to be the most lit photographer on the face of the earth because things have changed. We control the narrative, we control the imagery of the world. That's the other side of it. In terms of every photographer, videographer, we control what's perceived. So, we the rock stars. So you have to show a lot of respect when you talk to me, when you talk to any other photographer. We control how you look. We control how you view yourself. And most of the time, we're making you look better. Don't ever play yourself. I do so many different types of photography. I would pick what I would say, let's just say like, just a simple portrait or say outside, because I like to be outside. I'm not really a house cat, so, I was able to link and learn from other photographers about lighting and things like that, but I like to be outside in the street. So I wake up in the morning, I get my wake and bake. Most likely I'm playing some loud music that my fiance telling me to cut down inside the house, because it's always some type of trap music. I'm checking my equipment, checking to see if I got all my lenses, my battery, my memory card. Then I'm packing up, and as I'm packing up, grab the shiesty, get a hoodie, make sure I dress real comfortable. I never worry about, I give this only like 2 or 3 times. I don't do it a lot, so when you do get it, you have to appreciate these rare moments. I try to not worry about how I look because I have to make the client look good. So, I'm gonna have on a dusty pair of kicks, my trusty 13s, my Jordan 13s, and some sweats or my snowsuit, head out the door, hit the travel, stop and grab something to eat, pull up to the shoot. And from there, I throw the speaker on. I've usually already communicated with the client. Like, it's a lot of communication leading up to the days too. Practice is supposed to be hard. The game is supposed to be easy. So when we pull up on shoot day, it should just only be a couple pieces of communication and we can really just shoot. That's what we try to aim for. We shoot, we enjoy ourselves. We smoke if, the client eyes don't get red. Like, we just keep it comfortable to however it is. But then after we shoot, we just kick it, vibe, and chill. Most likely you'll catch us going to get something to smoke, something to eat, and I'm right back at the crib. Turnaround time, you know, I try to specialize in that too, so I usually get right to the Mac and get to bumping it out and sending my photos off. And every time I get, you know, a response back after I send the file, somebody's crying. So, I mean, shit, that's what I do with this. I wish I had it here. The only other piece of equipment, the runner-up would be my phone, but the only other piece of equipment is my drone. My drone is, that's the one thing I've never thought, like from where I come from and what I'm raised from, it's just like, I would never even think I would ever fly a drone or even have one. And then to have the ability to get one, I got one in like June, for my birthday, June 2020. And there was no fear, there was no nothing. I just hopped on YouTube all night, got right out there to flying that shit. And to be able to have a perspective that I've never been able to have of the world, of being that high up and being able to go wherever I want on the ground is just some shit that you can't get. And then it separated me as a shooter. And that was another reason why the sniper part of it came in, because I always would say, you know, I would always crack jokes like, yeah, a lot of y'all could stay on the ground, but I could go to the sky. And shit get different when you go to the sky. The perspective, the angles, just being up there flying and not even recording or taking a picture. So 100% my drone. My first drone was a DJI, I think it was the Air 2. Then I ended up getting the FPV drone, which was super dope, but it wasn't good for making money. It was more so just to play around with. Then I went back to my Air 2. Right now it's out of commission. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind, you know, to jokingly put my Cash App up there if y'all wanted to donate so y'all could see me get busy with that motherfucker again, because I promise you, I did a lot with that drone. And then, you know, real quick, something small that I also did within the porn industry, I introduced drones to that too, but, you know, maybe it'll be another time where I could get into that. But yeah, my DJI drone, I miss that damn thing. Okay, the genre, the genre I would like to get into, there's two of them. On the photo side, I would like to get more into editorial work, being able to get, you know, some things more leading towards the industry in terms of making money, so that I could be able to cover all bases and be able to market and be able to do more. I want to be able to have something and, you know, be published. I've never tried to aim to go towards being published. I just always wanted to just create, just period. So I do want to put that on the list. And in terms of video, because I do a lot of videos with Reels, which I specialize in that short form media content, I want to go towards cinema. Like, you know, I shoot cinematic in how I move. One of my biggest inspirations is Hype Williams, you know, late 90s, early 2000s video music director. He played a lot with like lighting, but like, you know, like the intro to Belly. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what he into. And if you go look at some of my reels on either one of my pages, you'll notice that I do play with that kind of lighting where it's like the dark light makes the skin look black. So I want to go more into cinematic and bigger production, but not with me actually holding the camera. I want to do more producing, more directing and things like that. If I can do that, you know, on top of what I already offer, the sky's the limit and beyond. Sniper Season Simo, the one and only lead photographer of I Capture Souls. You can find me on Instagram at I Capture Souls Photography. You'll see me with my hoodie on, and I'll have the camera like this because my other page got taken, so don't worry about that. I'm also on TikTok at Simo Haya. I'm not on Twitter yet. I'm on Facebook at I Capture Souls. And if I had to say something, just remember a sniper letting you know that your attention to detail is your greatest strength as a photographer. Embrace that shit.